Okay, welcome everyone. We're here presenting from Howard University. My name is Melissa Estrado. I am the president of Howard University Alumni Club of Greater New York City. And we also have our recruitment chair with us, and I'll have her introduce herself as well too for the club.
Hi, my name is Christine Randall. I am an old Howard graduate, but now I'm working with the Howard Alumni Association, helping to connect some of our alumni to the students and to provide excellent information for each of you as you're looking at your college experience.
So today we're going to start our presentation off with showing you two videos. I'm going to show you one, and then Christine is going to show you another one, but we are so excited to be here with everyone to tell you a little bit more about Howard. And then at the end of our presentation, we will give you an opportunity to ask us some questions that you can put in the chat, and Christine will be helping us with that, and I will be the individual that will be answering the questions for you. So right now, I'm going to show you a video about Howard. I am going to get our screen sharing capabilities up, and we will be with you in just a moment.
While we're pulling up these videos, please take this opportunity. If you have any questions now about Howard University, please begin using the chat.
Okay, I'm going to be pulling up our video right now.
On campus here at Howard is the sense of community.
People are very accepting. People are talented. They're welcoming.
Came up during Accepted Student Day last year, and I visited, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with Washington, D.C., and it was home.
I always wanted to come here, and I always wanted to play black women's lacrosse.
I chose Howard because growing up, I went to predominantly white institutions. And so I was always disconnected and, trying to be someone and something that I'm not.
I would go to my history class, and my professor would talk about how slavery wasn't that big of a deal, or how the civil rights movement, it was only a few months.
People here look at me for my skills. They don't look at me to fill a quota. Now I'm able to be Dante versus the black kid or the token African-American in the classroom.
I really appreciated this stance on equal opportunity for everyone.
When I decided that I wanted to transfer somewhere else, Howard was my first pick, because I wanted to be around people that look like me and understand the things that I go through.
But it's so diverse.
We have people from the Caribbean. We have people from Africa. And I was born in South Korea.
There's somebody for everybody here. If you're into anime, there's people who love anime. If you're into art, there's tons of us crazy art kids.
There's this stereotype that Howard is a party school. I also expected it to just be a party school.
There are a lot of parties every weekend, but a lot of people come here and they pull out a 4.0. They can party and also do their work here.
Everyone has the entrepreneurial spirit. It's eminent everywhere on campus. And that kind of fostered my business, DR Fitness. And we go by motto of work, it's simple. And I started it last year in July 2014, and I became certified in January of this year.
There are a lot of people with different entrepreneurial endeavors and that I have seen them build from the ground up.
There's a vast network that comes along with Howard.
I happen to be the CEO of Budget by Jordan. I specialize in promotional pins for different organizations and corporate events. And I'm also an official lender for Howard University. Learn what it's like being around other smart Black people who can rub shoulders and make me the better individual that I can be.
I've learned how to communicate. That's since being at Howard, I think that's the #1 thing.
I've become more in tune and focused with what I want to do.
You'll want to start something you wouldn't even think of starting before you got here. You'll want to join an organization to be a part of something and stand for something.
Whether you want to be the next doctor or lawyer or actor or artist or president of the United States,
Howard will provide all the tools for you to do, have, or be anything you want.
Come to Howard, that is it.
There's no other place to be than the Mecca.
You will have so many opportunities open up to you that you won't get at other HBCUs because you're in Washington, D.C.
Welcome to Howard.
So that is our welcome to Howard video. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I want to piggyback off of what they said. Depending on, it doesn't matter what you're willing to do, where you come from, even if your family's from another nation, it doesn't matter. There's a place at Howard for everyone, male and female. And even though you might hear stories that, yes, Howard can be a party school, or, you know, you can get a little distracted at times because it's in a city. Don't let that fool you. The students are definitely studying and they are tomorrow's leaders, and they are definitely achieving those high GPAs, those 4.0s, they're keeping their scholarship. And for me, I remember when I stepped on campus at Howard, it was I felt like I was at home. It was the feeling that I got when I stepped on the grounds of Howard University is a feeling like no other. Many of us who have been there, who visited there, who've had family there, or even who's graduated, we can all attest to that. We've all experienced that same exact feeling. Once you get there, there's a sense of belonging. And then when you're there, you feel supported because a lot of your peers, they look like you, they sound like you, they dress like you, and you feel as though you're at home, just home away from home. And the professors definitely support you in that, as if you're someone who's on campus for the first time. Christine, tell us a little bit about your experience as well too at Howard. I can't hear you, Christine.
Thank you. I actually came from a really, really small private school in New York City. And my guidance counselors actually did not put Howard on my list. My mom did, and she knew her daughter. So I think Melissa's right. You know, you're going to hear a lot about what Howard is for someone else. That may not be what it is for you. When I went there, I was very, very comfortable academically. I was a little concerned because most of my teachers had written the textbooks. So there was no, I didn't read and, I'm trying to make something up. They were very clear about the whole lesson. But they're also, very open. They want us to win. Right. So when they have office hours, they're going to help you to figure out how to get yourself grounded academically. And there are parties. And I would say there's definitely a skill to being able to have your social life, your extracurricular life, and your academic life. But that's something that you're going to learn in 4 years. And it's an amazing experience.
Yeah. And I agree, Christine. And I would say, I don't want to say there's parties, there's socializing. Every school has socializing. It's not just Howard. Don't let anyone tell you that. Every school has socializing capabilities. It's just, you have to manage your time. It's not high school anymore. It's a different world. You're young adults and you have to manage your time a little bit better, especially if you want to be successful. Some of the things that you've done when you were in high school, you will not be able to do when you get into college. This is different. You're paying for this and you want to make sure you are definitely utilizing everything that the campus has to offer you, which is a lot. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the rest of our presentation. But at this time, Christine is going to show you even more amazing video about Howard.
So Madam Presidente was telling us it's not so much the social life at Howard, But I will say that we have hands down probably one of the best homecoming celebrations ever. Most of us are still coming back years later, and we're interacting with our friends' children. We're interacting with, friends and family. It really is a comeback home. So that is something that you may not experience at other schools. But I will say that Howard's homecoming, this is a stat that I heard, is probably the largest grossing event for Washington, D.C., except for the inauguration that only happens every 4 years. So that's huge. That's significant. We are the Mecca.
We are definitely.
So let me share this video with you. Enjoy. Are you seeing it full screen?
I am not seeing it at this very moment.
Oh, I want you to see it. You're not seeing it at all?
No. This is technology for you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're gonna get through this, and trust me, it's worth the wait.
So here's screen 2. Let me see.
There we go. All right, now we're just gonna see it in full screen mode, and we are ready to go. Well, we're gonna start it from the beginning, though, Christine.
This is a really fun video. Oh, come on. Hold on 1 second. I think it went on to the next video. Hold on.
Yeah, let's just come out of it.
Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second while I just pull this up.
This was also a great video as well, too, with Chadwick Boseman, as we know, our main actor in the Black Panther movies, who also graduated from Howard as well, too.
Hold on, I'm just gonna come out of this. Okay, there we go.
And while Christine is pulling up that video, anything else additional that you might want to find out about Howard, you could always go on to howard.edu. If you have any family members who want to become more engaged with Howard, they could also go on to alum.howard.edu as well. And then if you have alums that are family members or even friends that want to follow our page on Instagram, it's HUAC_GNYC. And it looks like
you seeing my screen now?
Yep.
Okay.
And I think we're ready.
Let's
I'm
go.
just going to show from the beginning, and we are ready to go. And I can't hear it though.
You still can't hear it?
No.
It's super loud here. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
How else can I do it? Let me see if I turn off my audio.
You know what? How about we do this? How about we switch and I will show the video.
Okay.
All right, let me just get that video. So you just stop sharing and I will get the video up and running. Okay, ready to go?
Ready to go. I'm gonna
All right.
I'm gonna mute.
All right, no problem. Can you see my video? Christine? Christine, can you see everything? Okay, and let me know, put a thumbs up if you can hear it too, because you never know, it might just be the video. But I'm gonna play our homecoming video from last year. You can't hear it? Oh no, it's our video. Oh man. We wanted to, okay, well, I guess we won't be able to show you that video, unfortunately. But, and let me get out of this. We apologize. You still can't hear it, right, Christine? You're muted, Christine.
I can't hear it at all.
You can't hear it at all. Okay, well, I will show you another video, okay? That's all right. We have multiple videos here at Howard.
Head of marketing at a ketchup company about to use Grammarly to handle a tight deadline. 2 weeks, not ideal. Good thing Grammarly's tone suggestions can help move things forward.
I can't hear any. I don't hear or see anything.
You don't hear or see anything?
Mm-mm. We have one question that I can talk to while you're looking at this. So someone asked if we have a mass communications major. I love that.
Mm-hmm. So so unfortunately, our technology is not on our side right now. Hopefully we can get this situated before. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start speaking about the different questions that many of you students may ask if you come to one of our college fairs. So when you come to our college fair, you might notice this H right here.
Mm-hmm.
Not just an H, it's not just a poster. On the back of that H has a lot of information here that most of you would like to know about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some of that information for you so we can get you to get a better understanding of what to expect if you're on campus at Howard. So the average GPA for this coming year right now for the freshmen that are in class is 3.65. This year, we are test optional. We were test optional last year. Many of the schools have moved towards, you do not need to take the SAT or the ACT to get into Howard, but we strongly suggest that if you are taking those exams, just make sure and try to do your best. It is extremely competitive. The average ACT score for this incoming class was 23, and the average SAT score for this incoming class was 1167. So those are pretty high numbers. So again, if you're utilizing the SAT and ACT, it's up to you. It will not decrease your chances of getting in. It is completely optional, but we want to say to you that if you're going to use that, just make sure you try to get the highest score possible because it is competitive. Last year, we had over 32,000 applications come to Howard, and we only had a little over 2,000 seats that we were offering to our students. So that's a very low number of seats for a lot of applicants. And the applicants are coming from everywhere. They're not coming just from within the United States. They're coming from overseas as well. We have students coming from Ghana. We have students coming from Trinidad. We have students coming from, South America. There's so many different students coming from far and wide. This is why the applications are so great in terms of numbers. So again, it's very competitive. We want to make sure that your application is as strong as possible. If you want to utilize those scores, it's completely up to you, but it will not decrease your chances of getting into Howard. In terms of the estimated cost for Howard, tuitions and fees is $33,344. Estimated room and board is $16,474. And the estimated total cost for Howard is $55,704. Now, keep in mind, there are other financial obligations that you will have at Howard. We've discussed the tuition and fees, room and board, but there are also other fees that's associated with Howard that, again, once you reach out to the school or you go onto the website, which is howard.edu, you can find out more information about that. But I want to let you know that there are additional expenses while you're at Howard if you're living off campus. There's also the meal plan that is required for first-time freshmen in college. The following years, sophomore, junior, and senior, it is not mandatory, but if you are a freshman, it is mandatory that you live on campus and have a meal plan. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule. If you do have family that is there, you will have to, and you choose to live off campus as a freshman, you will then have to notify the school, and the school will have you fill out information to show that you do have family there and you are supported in a way that meets the requirements for the university. But again, if you're a first-time freshman at Howard, it is mandatory to live in our dorms as well as have a meal plan. So again, there's some additional costs. If you have to add in a meal plan, then you may have to pay for additional services for other things for Howard. There's also transportation. There's personal needs that you may have, things that you may need for your room, personal care. Those are also things that you want to consider when you're thinking about the total cost. Yes, we stated that it's $55,000. The estimated cost is $55,704, but there are some additional costs associated with that. For our application deadlines, our early action is November 1st, and our early decision is November 1st. And for regular decision, that is February 1st of 2024. Now, if you want to choose to do our early action, keeping in mind when you choose Howard as the only school that you are applying for, you can apply for other schools, but Howard is your main school. And if you choose to go to another school, you have to wait until Howard states to you that you are either accepted or you're not accepted. And even if you are accepted, you have to then make a decision before you can move forward with the process of the other school. So we don't want you to think that you cannot apply to other schools while your application is being processed for early action. You can. But you just have to remember that Howard is your main school and you have to wait for communication from Howard moving forward to make your next decision about the other schools as well. Now, also on the back of this H, as I showed you earlier, this is our undergraduate majors and concentrations here as well too. So if you don't have an H and you're not able to secure one of those at our college fairs, then you could always get that information on howard.edu. We do have a college fair if you're in the Manhattan area. We do have 2 college fairs that are coming up this weekend. We have one that on Sunday, it's the Jacob Javits Big Apple College Fair. You have over, I think, 200 schools, correct, Christine, that are coming?
Mm-hmm.
And you have over 2,000 students that's going to be there. It's going to be a huge college fair. There's going to be a lot of other things going on, but that is this Sunday, October 8th. And the college fair is going to take place from 12 to 4. We also have another one that's coming up on Saturday as well, right, Christine?
Yeah, so that's Alpha Kappa Alpha chapter Tau Omega is having their college fair at the Harlem Academy. And that one I think you can still register for if you're interested. It's a large, not as large as Big Apple. Big Apple is going to include schools that are HBCU and predominantly white institutions. The Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority college fair is going to be mainly an HBCU fair. Okay. So that's something you want to pay attention to as you're looking for your college fairs this fall.
Okay, and just keep in mind, our deadline for early action and early decision is November 1st. So you definitely want to participate in those upcoming college fairs that are happening rather quickly, because we're already in October. So you should already be working on your application in the Common App, which that's where we house our application as well as many other schools if you're applying to college. We also have, if you're on Instagram, you can go on to our Instagram page, which is HUAC_GNYC. And in our bio, we have a list of our upcoming college fairs as well too. Even if you're not a graduating senior, but you are a junior or even a sophomore and you're here with us today on this presentation, you can always find our college fairs inside of our bio as well too, if you're looking for anything that's in the New York City area. In terms of the campus life, Howard has over 250 clubs and organizations on campus. So as you saw in our video earlier, there are a lot of different things that you can do at Howard. You can go onto our website again at howard.edu, and you can type in organizations on campus, or you can type in campus life, and you will be able to see all the different clubs and organizations that we have on campus. We are a D1 school if you're interested in sports. To our gentlemen out here who want to play basketball and football, just wanted to plug that in there as you consider Howard University. In terms of our professor student to teacher ratio, we are 16:1 in our classroom. In the university, we have over 12,000 students. That includes our undergraduate and our graduate students as well. We have over 53 states where our students come from. We have 53 territories as well as 53 nations. So when you come to Howard, it is very, very diverse. Not many schools can say that they have students coming from 53 nations. Howard definitely has that, and you will definitely be able to see that. We have we have our 14 different schools that's within the university, and within each school we have scholarships. So the Howard University offers scholarships by way of, when you fill out your FAFSA, everyone should be filling out a FAFSA if you're in need of financial assistance. When you fill out that information you will be utilizing your information as well as your parents' information. So you want to have that information ready to be able to fill out that application. Howard reviews your FAFSA, and they also, in conjunction with the government, will allow you to know what financial assistance you will be receiving. Once that information is given to you, each school within the university, so for example, within the university, you have College of Nursing, you have School of Business, you have College of Engineering, College of Arts and Science. These are some of the schools that fall underneath Howard University. Each school has their own scholarships. So we want to encourage you to reach out to your school once you arrive on campus, or even before if you have the time. I know many of you are just trying to finish up strong in your senior year, but if you're a junior or a sophomore and you want to get a head start, reach out to the school. Find out from each school within the university what scholarship they do offer. We have our honors program. They have information about scholarships as well too. So we don't want you to just stop at the university level. We want you to reach out to your school within the university as well too. You could also go on our website, again, at howard.edu, and you can type in financial aid. And in our financial aid section, you will also see a breakdown of the different scholarships that we offer as well too. And also in terms of housing, we have unlike some other school, we guarantee housing for our freshmen and our sophomores. There are other schools that only guarantee housing for our freshmen, but we guarantee housing for our sophomores as well too, which is really important. That's always a problem in many schools, but for us, we make sure we do what we have to do to at least get our freshmen and our sophomores acclimated and comfortable with the university and the surroundings. All our female dorms are newly renovated. So for all our, we have for all our females that are going to be attending Howard or looking at Howard, they're newly renovated. You can see that online as well too. We are working towards renovating our male dorms. Howard has more, it's not a secret, Howard has more females than it has males at Howard, even though we're working on that. Those numbers are definitely increasing. So we're excited about our young men that are coming to Howard, but we're looking towards improving our male dorms as well. We understand the need to improve that as well. So we are definitely working on that for the future. But just know that as females, you will definitely love our newly renovated dorms that we have vending machines inside of the buildings. We have private study rooms. We have gyms. We have door-to-door shuttle services to each and every dorm, even if you're slightly off campus. We have round-the-clock shuttle services that runs up until, I believe, 1 a.m. in the morning. On the weekends, the times may vary, but you don't have to worry about taking public transportation to get to school unless you have a car, you want to drive your car. You have to get a permit for that as well, too. But we have door-to-door shuttle services as well, too. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Christine and see if there's anything that I have missed. And if not, then we'll just open up the presentation for questions and Q&A.
Hi, so there are a few things that I just want to point out. Melissa explained that we have wonderful athletics at Howard University. We also have an amazing golf program that was started in conjunction with, I can't remember the organization, but Steph Curry actually stepped up and met with one of our students who reached out to him and said, hey, we need a golf program. And he sponsored the program. We are a championship winning golf program right now. So if that's something that you're interested in, that is also an option at Howard University. Also, we have wonderful volleyball teams as well as swim teams. And I'm not sure if you missed it, but if you are interested in swimming, you should probably look at Sports Illustrated. We made the cover last year. So that was really exciting for us. I also wanted to point out that I don't know if you understand the difference between early action and early decision. So early action is, as Melissa said, an opportunity for you to get your application in early, to be considered early, and to get a response early. They pretty much have a deadline where they will review everybody that came in by a particular deadline. So by that November 1st, and then all of those students will get a response. Early decision is a little different. Early decision is a binding contract. So that means I know that Howard is my #1 school. And if I get admitted, I'm going to attend. And as Melissa explained, you then remove all of your other applications from the other schools that are considering you. So you have two options. You can get an early response from a school. One is binding and one still gives you the option to still look at other schools and consider your options. So just, they both have the same deadline. You just have to make sure that you check the right box when you're completing your common application. Also, somebody, the other thing that I want to mention is last year, there were a number of people who didn't get an immediate decision who were waitlisted. Waitlisting does not mean that the university doesn't want you. As Melissa was explaining to you, if we have only 2,000 seats for 32,000 applications, everyone cannot get an initial. There are some other people who we have offered an opportunity to. Please do not give up if you are waitlisted. You can reach out to the university. You can ask, what is it that I can do to improve my chances to get in? You can submit additional information, other recommendations. If you're doing something extra in the community, have somebody send another recommendation, or get some more volunteer hours someplace. You still are in the running if you're on the wait list. Please do not give up if that is a letter that you get, a decision that you get. Somebody also just said that they are interested in mass communications, and they wanted to know a little bit more about Howard University and the communications program.
Well, that's actually a great question. If you want to know more about that information, you can go on to catalog.howard.edu. You can find out some more information about that. And there is a course called MKTG 380 inside of the catalog, and that gives you a little bit more information. So again, if you want to know more information about the sports marketing, we do have that at Howard, and you can go on the catalog.howard.edu and you can review the information there. And one of the courses that you will be taking, which is called MKTG 380.
And also for the person that asked the question about mass communications, there are Howard people all throughout every area of communications. You have seen our alumni on CNN, ESPN, CBS, Fox, across the board. So there is a really strong alumni in the entertainment community. And one thing that I will say about Howard University is that we always try to help somebody that has been, starting out the way that we were. So you will likely see alumni in certain areas, and you should make yourself known. You should go and you should introduce yourself. Say that you're a Howard student. You never know what could happen. You could get an internship. You can get at least some information about another opportunity. But our network is very, very strong.
Yep. And we have our radio station, which is WHUR 96.3 as well, too, on campus.
Does anybody else have questions, or is there anything else that you wanted to share, Melissa?
Well, at this time, I don't have anything else I want to share. We're going to open the floor up for additional questions that you may have, and we will respond to you as the questions come up. So we'll give everyone a few minutes to kind of digest everything that we said. I know we said a lot, so we want to give everyone some time to be able to just think about your questions. No rush. Maybe something may come up as you're thinking, or maybe if you're actually looking on the website right now, some other information may come up. But we'll give you guys a few minutes to do that.
I'm very surprised I'm not hearing any questions about scholarships and affordability.
Maybe they have it all figured out. I don't know. But there
was a question about scholarships. Okay. So one thing that you should definitely know is, Melissa pointed out that the cost of going to Howard University is $55,704. That seems daunting to a lot of families, but you do need to complete your FAFSA. And Howard University will look at the information from your FAFSA and determine if you can get aid and or scholarship. And that would be either merit aid or if you can qualify for federal aid. And that could be something like TAP, which would be in assistance to your family. You can also qualify, and again, this would be something that Howard University would send you for work study. And work study really is a grant that is given to Howard, and in exchange, they will offer you jobs on campus where you can earn money and you can pay down your tuition. So there really are a lot of opportunities to make it affordable. If you feel like, you know, the $55,000 price tag is too much, you never know how much your family is going to need to pay for you to attend until you apply. So always remember that. And then you should always look for other funding opportunities outside of Howard. Go to your fraternities, go to your sororities, go to your churches. There are lots, go on Google. There are lots of opportunities that are available to you, but you must meet the deadline and you must send in your information and really put your best foot forward. So please keep that in mind.
And there's always Instagram.
And there's always Instagram.
There is also a lot of scholarship on Instagram. That is the new way of, you know, just communicating with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Look on Instagram. But I want to stress that there is a lot of money out there that goes you know, the money that's out there. There are many organizations that they have stated that the money just goes nowhere. It actually sits there because students sometimes feel as though they have to write long essays, 10-page essays, or they have to answer, 50 questions. Sometimes it could be as simple as, what's your name, where you're from, what's your major, what school you're going to, and what makes you love New York City. I mean, it's you'll be surprised the very simple questions that some of these organizations will ask you for the scholarships. They're out there, they're just sitting, waiting, but we have to apply ourselves. We have to be proactive, and we definitely have to go looking. The scholarships are not going to all be landing on your lap, but they're out there. I can definitely attest to that they're definitely out there, but you have to look for them. There's millions of dollars out there, and there are a lot of scholarships that they're just looking for students who are just interested in going to college. That's something that we've been really pushing, especially the HBCUs, but just college in general. For our young men out there, there are scholarships just because you're a young male looking to go to college, just because. They're not asking for anything special. They just want to hear that you are a young male and you want to go to college and you want to further your education, which we know that is not something that is as great as our females who want to go to college. So I can absolutely say to you that the money is definitely out there. I think we have another question. All right, so I'm just going to give this a few more minutes. And if you guys have no more questions, we're going to ask you to visit the information in the video description box. And we hope to see you on campus. Or again, you can follow us on Instagram, ask us a question. We're happy to return that information as well, too. So do we have a public relations program? Yes, we actually do.
I'm actually a public relations grad.
There you go. Look at that. So whoever asked that question, look, you have an alum sitting right here with you. Do you mind just talking a little bit about that program?
Of course. So I was a French major and a public relations minor. And in public relations, I needed to do public speaking. I needed to learn how to write press releases. I had to work with one of the media organizations at Howard. So we have the Hilltop newspaper. We had the community news, which was not campus news. It was actually news around the community, around the Howard community. There's the radio station, etc. So I did a couple of opportunities with the newspapers. And then after I graduated, I actually got a wonderful opportunity to work in New York City with Terry Williams at the Terry Williams Agency. And at that time, her biggest client, I think, was Eddie Murphy. And I worked with another alum who actually ended up marrying Chris Rock, and her name was Malak Rock. So, you know, there was really an opportunity to kind of get out. We were doing a lot of movie screenings. We were doing a lot of pitches. I mean, it was real life work. And I think Howard University totally prepared me for those opportunities.
Great. Thank you, Christine. What is the likelihood of someone asking that question and you're sitting right here? This is great. That was extremely helpful.
Yeah.
We'll see if there's anyone else. Let's see. All right. So again, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here with us to allow us to give a little bit of our story, as well as to be able to explain to you what's going on at our wonderful alma mater. And we look forward to seeing all of you, even if it's not on campus, then we look forward to seeing you at our college fairs. Again, you can go onto our Instagram, look in our bio, and you will see all the upcoming college fairs that we have coming up.
Yeah.
All right. So again, look for details. You can look for the contact details in the video description box. Have a great night.
Good luck.